morning. Let's wait for some people to get in here. Hopefully. Or I can just stand out here on the edge of the woods for nothing. If you come in and say something in the chat, then we'll get started. I am new to the live thing. I'm trying to figure it out. Wasn't sure how to set up to go live on a timed deal. It doesn't give me that option. Does not show me much of anything. Let's see, community moderation, automatic translation. Let's look through our options while we wait for people to show up. Playables. Well, it would appear no one has an interest in finding morel mushrooms. Not that I knew how to indicate that's what I'm doing. Get it off my fat head. Maybe people will show up. Hello, hello. Trying to share tips on how to find morel mushrooms today. Got my machete. We're in the woods. Things that you want to look for. I call these May apples. They pop up usually in May, and they produce what looks like a little apple. I know that they are edible in some. There we go. For starters, you get out in the woods, you want to find ground coverage. Ground coverage produces shade. The second thing you want to do is find sycamore trees. This is a sycamore tree. I have internet because I pay a lot of money for a phone service. We've got the ground cover. We've got sycamores. This big tree, you'll notice the white. Let's see if it'll let me zoom in. You see how the tops of the tree are white? Those are sycamore trees. Those are the kind of trees you look for when you're out in the woods hunting for morel mushrooms. You want to keep your ears open for any kind of rattling. You want to watch where you place your feet. If there's a whole lot of brush, areas like that, you don't want to step because a snake could be hiding there. I'm just trying to share my tips with morel mushroom hunting. When you get on a downward slope and you have all the right things, like the sycamore trees, look for ground vines and limbs where it's on a downhill slope where water washes down. A lot of times the sediment that morel mushrooms need to pop up will get trapped right behind limbs and vines and roots like that and collect, and that's where you'll find a lot of them. Not all the time. I'm sure we'll spot at least one. We are in need of rain, so If we do, it might not be the best of morels. Hello everybody, welcome. We are getting deeper into the woods here. Now, this is a sycamore tree. I see a lot of debris on the ground next to it. I want to work my way up by this sycamore tree. Try to get some of these thorns and limbs out of my way. Now this is a sycamore tree root. This is ideal. This is what I am talking about when trying to find that catching point of rain washing down the debris. I don't know how many or if we'll find any because of the fact that we are in desperate need of rain. I'm hoping that maybe we can find some this morning because of the moisture in the air. Will hopefully be enough to get them to pop up. I've got my bucket here clipped onto my belt loop to store them if I find a bunch of them. I will not harvest just a couple of mushrooms. I have to get, at least 10, 15 mushrooms to make it worth it. After I do harvest the mushrooms, I soak them in water, and I take that water and I come back out by a sycamore tree out in the middle of the woods, and that is where I'll dump that said water because of the fact that the spores that have developed within the mushroom will be in that water, and it may, hopefully, possibly produce more in the future. But you find your sycamore tree, get up close to it. You want ground coverage, debris on the ground. I thought that was one for a second there, but it's not. More sycamore trees. First thing you look for is the sycamore tree. And the second thing is the ground coverage. Okay. Again, we've got roots coming across the ground. We've got a downward slope. We've got the sycamore tree. Now we just need the morel mushroom. This is the ideal place to find morel mushrooms. You've got plenty of ground coverage, plenty of debris on the ground, leaves and sticks and whatnot. If you see one, holler. Another good spot. I do not believe we're going to find any, just due to lack of rain. I still enjoy being out in the woods. I still enjoy searching for them, looking for the signs of them to pop up. Morel mushrooms are really tasty and healthy. They have a lot of health benefits. Now we're getting into some good sycamore. Okay. Gotta watch my steps so I don't trample on any. No tire. I am absolutely amazed to not see a bunch of morel mushrooms. The only possible reason would be the lack of rain. Still get to enjoy the birds singing. You've got a lot of debris here. How's everybody doing today? Do you guys get morels where you're from? Aha! We have found a morel mushroom. This is the morel mushroom. Notice the sycamore tree. We've got ground cover, the green ground cover. We've got plenty of debris, leaves, and sticks on a downward slope. And then you find the morel. It's not a very well developed morel mushroom. It's not very big. And it looks dry. Let me feel it. Yes, it's extremely dry. So this is exactly what I thought. We just don't have enough rain to really harvest morel mushrooms. Hopefully we get enough rain before the ground temperatures get too warm. Your ground temperature has everything to do with it. Somebody pulling a trailer. But we have found one, so it's not a total bust. Again, I'm not going to harvest that. That one dried up mushroom is not enough to feed anyone or anything. But at least we found one. It wasn't a total bust. But that's all the live was about. Was being out in nature and looking for morel mushrooms. Wanted to share the tips and pointers that I use for finding them. Find me a good sycamore tree. Find me a hill slope that has plenty of ground coverage, moisture, limbs, and debris. We found all that. We found the morel, so I'm satisfied. Unfortunately, we have not had enough rain, so I will try this again in the future. Maybe I can learn a little more about doing YouTube live streams. I generally just keep to pre-recorded. It's easier for me. I don't have to worry about stepping on my own words. And I do not see more morels. Anyhow, hope y'all have a good day. I'm gonna get out of the woods and double check for ticks. I don't want any alpha-gal. It's a nasty disease, keeps you from eating meats. I like meats more than I like mushrooms. But the morel mushrooms are, again, they have a lot of health benefits. So I do look for them every year. And check back in some of my older videos and you can find a spray that you can spray your shoes, boots, pant legs with that will detour the ticks from climbing up your legs. But I hope you find these tips useful. I hope you find a lot of morel mushrooms. There's a spider on my hat. Get along, little spider. There we go. That looks like all the morels. It's just the one. Just the one morel mushroom. Better than none. We'll leave it there and hopefully its spores will produce more once we get some rain. But hope you have a good day.